Hi, it's the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your September 2017 general readings. Thank you so much for joining us here today. Welcome to any newcomers. You can see from the background I'm still in Poland, still in Eastern Europe, although I should be back in the States by the middle of September. But as you know, I work the same no matter where I go, thanks to the internet today. So thank you for all your likes, shares, subscribes, all your support, feedback, and comments. Thank you for those of you who continue to keep me so busy with one-on-one readings wherever I go. As those of you who follow my channel regularly know, I do travel quite a bit, but I work the same regardless of where I travel to. So thank you for those of you who continue to keep me so busy in all four corners of this lovely world. I so enjoy exploring. And to my regular clients, thank you as well. If any of you are interested in any personal one-on-one reading with me and you haven't read with me before, you can go to my YouTube channel's homepage, click on the About or Description button, and that'll give you a little more information and my email address, which is Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I do a wide variety of readings, year overviews, career overviews, love and romance, of course, compatibility charting, monthly and bi-weekly readings for those interested in regular package deals, and channeled messages from past on loved ones as well. I do readings 5 to 6 days a week, full time. It is what I do. So I'm usually able to get back with you within a day of your initial contact. And current turnaround time for readings live or recorded is almost always within a 1 to 2 week period of time. So if you're interested, send me an email. We'll go from there. Make sure to check your rising and your moon sign videos as well. There's many of you watching. And of course, they're not going to mean the same thing in the same area of your life to the same degree and intensity for everyone watching, because all of you are so wonderfully unique and different, have different things going on in your life, which is why we suggest you check your rising and your moon sign videos. Sometimes they may play out a little more predictably for you than your primary sun sign. And just watching all three, if you know them and if you can give you additional insight, details, and clarification into what potentially may be going on in your life at the time. So try to watch all three if you can. We're looking at the entire month of September, so I'll be pulling 2 cards for each week with an additional 9th card from the bottom of the deck for overall energy and guidance. Time being somewhat fluid, as I always say. This reading is for the Earth sign of Virgo for September 2017. Let us see what is in store for our beautiful Virgos for September. We have Virgo, the 8 of Wands, followed by the Page of Cups. We have the Page of Swords, followed by the 5 of Cups. We have the 7 of Pentacles, followed by the 3 of Swords in reverse, and the Queen of Pentacles, followed by the 6 of Cups. And from the bottom of the deck, your overall energy and guidance, well, we had 2 cards come out. I'm going to keep them both because they're so closely related. The Sun and the 3 of Cups. Interesting. Fun. I feel like this is going to resonate probably pretty specifically with a group of Virgos watching Sun, Moon, or Rising, or perhaps someone you're watching it for. This may not resonate with a large group of Virgos for the beginning of the month generals because, well, we'll just go through and see what else comes through. But right now I'm feeling kind of a specific message. So Virgo, we begin with the 8 of Wands, followed by the Page of Cups. So Wands is fire energy, very dynamic, fluid, action-oriented energy about change, movement, power. The 8 of Wands is a card of communication, all different forms of the communication. We live in a pretty technologically driven world today, so this can be, face-to-face, voice, phone, email, text, Skype, you name it. There's many forms of communication nowadays. Swift, powerful communication. It typically implies positive communication. Sometimes it's about waiting for communication. So for those of you who are ending August, beginning September, because I am recording these in the last week of August, waiting for news, information, messages coming through. They will be coming through around the beginning of the month of September. 8 of Wands is paired with the Page of Cups. Cups is water energy, which resonates in the suit of tarot. This energy usually resonates in the area of our life that deals with emotions, feelings, relationships as well. Very fluid, mercurial energy because it's water. Pages can represent young people or children. They often represent messages, student apprenticeship energy, being at the introductory path of something. Sometimes they can represent immature or childlike or childish energy as well. Although I'm getting for a lot of you that this is actually has to do with a young person or a child in your life. For some of you, I'm feeling this is actually a sibling as well. It could be somebody else's child as well, or perhaps it's stepchild. It could just represent the messages that are coming in for you in different areas of your life, depending on which Virgo's watching. But I feel like for a lot of you, whatever news or information is coming in or being exchanged between you and somebody else, it's either with a child or a young person or a sibling, somebody who's falling in this category, a younger person, somebody younger than you. It could be the conversation and messages is exchanged with this person or about this person. I feel for some of you it's about this person. It might be your child, a relative's child, or a younger sibling, again, is what I'm getting. Next to that, we have, and the Page of Cups, there's two pages here, and I feel like for those of you for whom this is going to resonate about a child or a young person, whether it's yours or a relative or a sibling or whatever the connection is, it's about a young person or a child. For those of you for whom that resonates, there's two pages in here, but I feel like they're just different aspects of the same person. We have a Page of Cups, this would be a more emotional, sensitive, creative, artistic child, and then we have next we have the Page of Swords, accompanied by the Five of Cups. So the Page of Swords is air energy. It's more mental, cerebral, intellectual energy. And this could be, again, message, news, information. And I feel like it has something to do with another person, a younger person, child, sibling, etc. Regardless of what the connection to you is, it's going to vary per person. Sometimes it's, some of you, this is just going to be news, messages, information coming in. Now, pages can also represent being at the introductory phase of something, looking at something with a fresh perspective, still having a lot to learn, but really eager and enthusiastic about learning as well. Some of you that may resonate for you, but I have to go with what I'm feeling, and it's more about a young person, child, etc. It doesn't have to be young in terms of like minor and chronological age, but just someone younger than you, or somebody very young in their nature, very childlike in their nature as well. For some of you, it may be somebody who is mentally handicapped or challenged in some way as well, and just is childlike in that sense. Now, the Page of Swords is paired with the Five of Cups. This is a card of basically kind of focusing only on the negative, and sometimes to the point where you're refusing to see or be grateful for what's still remaining in your environment, or any opportunities which might come along which you might miss because you're only focused on basically loss, grief, perhaps. This man is completely focused on these three cups, which are tipped over and spilled out on the ground beside him. And these cups are symbolic for loss, grief, something that he's lost or that he feels has been taken away from him, whether by somebody else or by fate, perhaps, or maybe, poor choices of their own. But it represents loss of some kind, grief, and a total focus, almost obsession with that, mental, emotional, psychological. All this energy is being focused only on what no longer is, on the loss. And right behind this man are these two goblets, golden goblets, beautiful, upright, still full, glowing. They represent that there are still things in his life and his environment to be grateful for, and they can also sometimes represent potential opportunities which are there or coming quite quickly, which he may miss because the focus is only on what's lost, meaning what's behind you, meaning kind of being stuck in the past and being stuck on what no longer is, rather than looking around and being grateful for what still remains to be grateful for, and thereby being able to see and grasp any opportunities which come along. So I'm getting a couple of different specific messages. One of them, I feel like I think this is for parents, a mom or a dad or both. It could just be for one of you watching out there. Everyone is ultimately important. No one person is important than the rest. So this could be one person or a small group of people. I feel like it's parents. I feel like you've just gotten news about your child. It's like your child just went through some testing of some kind. Maybe there were some issues, or you had some suspicions, or the doctor did about something. You got some testing of some kind, and the news coming back is not good. I don't feel like it's not good in terms of physical health, in terms of something life-threatening. Although I guess there's a potential. It could be, some kind of sickness or disease. All of my support, sympathy, and prayers if that's the case. I feel like for some of you, I'm getting a specific message that you've just gotten news back from some kind of course of testing that your child has maybe learning disabilities or mental disabilities of some kind, or it's been confirmed, and or you found out that they're not going to get better in some case, and it's really kind of thrown you for a loop. That's for a certain portion of you. For another portion of you, there's a completely different message that I'm also getting. Actually, a child or young person or sibling, whatever the connection is to you, is actually, they have gotten some news or information which is difficult or challenging for them. I'm not quite sure what it is, but they're having a hard time. I feel like one of them, it might be your child or an older child, or a younger relative of some kind. They're going through a really bad breakup right now, and they're talking to you about it. They need your love and support. Interesting, completely different messages here, but I feel like for a lot of you, the specific messages I'm getting is that it's centered around a young person. For some of you, it's information around a young person that you have to work through how to deal with this yourself, particularly if you're on the parent end of this. For others of you, your child or some other young person is having difficulty and issues themselves with something, and I'm not really getting specifics on what that is, and you're being put in the position of trying to help them get through it. For some of you, they're going through a breakup. It's like a teenager or something, or maybe just even in their 20s, and you're older, and they're, hopefully this isn't confusing, they're going through some difficulties of some kind, and you're being kind of put in a position of being the support person, whether that's as a parent or as an older relative or just a friend as well. So next to that, we have the Seven of Pentacles, followed by the Three of Swords in reverse. So Pentacles is earth energy. It usually reflects in that the earthly sector of our lives, which is it's usually things we can see and touch and feel, like money, finances, resources, property, etc. Things in our tangible, concrete, day-to-day world we live in. The Seven of Pentacles is a card of reflection and assessment. It's a card that represents taking a look at what you have, kind of evaluating it, what you've invested in it, and ask yourself, is it worth continuing to invest in it? Do you need to make changes to it? Do you need to just abandon it and start something new? It's harvest time on this card. She's planted the seed. She's grown the tree. The fruit is ripened. It's ready to be picked, and she's ready to pick it, but she's looking to see if what she invested in it paid off. Did I get what I put into it? Did I get more? Did I get less? What do I do? Do I stay? Do I make changes? Do I abandon it and start a new crop somewhere else? It's a card of looking at what you have versus what you've invested in it and making changes based on that. Now, it's paired with the Three of Swords in reverse. Now, in the upright position, this is a card of heartbreak, heartache, deep emotional disappointment, or just emotional pain. In the reverse, it can mean an avoidance of that or a lessening of that, a healing of that as well. And paired with the Seven of Pentacles, this reflection and assessment energy, I feel like, again, the specifics of how this plays out in your life is going to vary because there's so many of you watching. But as I always say, the energy fundamentally remains the same. I feel like for a lot of you, you're being put in the position of trying to help someone work through something. Some of you, you're almost in the parent mode, and you're trying to figure out how to work through news and information that you've gotten about your child, or helping your child, or even somebody else's, a young person, through some kind of difficulty regardless of what that difficulty is and what your role in it. It's trying to figure out a way through this and how to overcome it, both yourself and them as well. What's the best thing for everyone involved to overcome this sense of emotional pain, heartbreak, or disappointment in some way? It could just be a young person or your child being greatly disappointed that something didn't work out for them. Now, at or towards, and the advice actually, oddly enough, is to go out and have fun. At or towards the end of the month, we have the Queen of Pentacles, which I'm feeling is just reflecting your energy, representing you, paired with the Six of Cups. So the Queen of Pentacles would represent an earth sign, female or male, because this is a general reading, so we can't be too gender specific. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Rising, or someone who strongly manifests the character traits of the Queen of Pentacles. Lovely, grounded person, very much a nurturer, very good at navigating the day-to-day earthly world we live in, including all of its resources. Somebody who, works a full-time job or owns their own business or runs their home very efficiently, makes it look effortless, volunteers twice a month at the local church. She's always there when somebody needs them. When there's a crisis, she's the first one there with, a dozen casseroles and always looks, like she just stepped out of looks very put together, very organized. Somebody who's very good, very capable, and very nurturing and loving as well, like great mother, great wife, great friend, great support system sort of person. You're actually being called upon to just manifest the best of the character traits that you inherently already, sorry, I think my microphone is a little too loud, that you already possess, that lovely, grounded, know what to do, pull the resources together to do it, problem solve, figure a way through it, and be nurturing, loving, and supportive as well, Virgo. Now, the Queen of Pentacles is paired with the Six of Cups. The Six of Cups is primarily a card associated with the past, reminiscence, nostalgia, childhood, roots of origin. It can represent travel in connection with that too, perhaps traveling back to see relatives, parents, roots of origin. Some of this news that some of you may have gotten in the beginning just hit me at the very end here. Some of you may have gotten news about parent or relative. Somebody might be ill or has passed away in the family of some kind. And actually, it might be you being put in that position of feeling like the child again, even though you're an adult now. You may be traveling back to take care of things at the end of September as well. So that's a separate message from the ones we've already gone through. For the rest of you, the Six of Cups is also about connecting with childhood, connecting with happier, simpler times, being more childlike, being more carefree. It can also represent giving and receiving in the way that children do, very freely and very unconditionally as well. Manifesting that in helping see your way through, whether it's you and a partner or your child or all of the above, and working a way through this and trying to find a way just to try and deal with this and walk through it. And oddly enough, you're being asked to connect to that kind of childlike wonder and spirit. Again, your overall energy and guidance. You have two cards that came out, the Sun and the Three of Cups. These are beautiful, lovely cards. The Sun is the best in the tarot. It elevates all the positive energy and can lessen or even negate some of the more challenging energy in a spread. There's a strong theme of just fun and lightheartedness with the Sun, because it represents, everything that the Sun brings: light, love, warmth, laughter. It encourages things to grow. It illuminates. It brings solutions and clarification. It uplifts energy. It releases restrictive energy. And it's paired with the Three of Cups, which is a card about having a good time with friends, not just any kind of friends. These are people that you really connect with. It can represent kinship, the sisterhood, brotherhood kind of friends, people in whose company you feel really good because you don't have to pretend, and vice versa. I think just getting out, however this is reflecting in your life, Virgo, over September 2017, I feel like fundamentally, even though there may be a temptation, as happens with a lot of us when we get bad news or when we're trying to just kind of navigate our way through a difficult or challenging situation, to kind of hole up or isolate sometimes, I think you're being asked to kind of get out, particularly those of you for whom you're dealing with children, young people. Get out, have fun, reconnect with your child. It's going to be helpful in healing, not only to you, but everybody involved, you and anybody else who may be involved in this situation. Rely on your friends, reach out to your friends. And for those of you who are being asked to be in a support role over the month of 2017. Be that kind of friend. Pull them out of their shell. Make them get out and have fun. You know, go to a playground and swing on the swings, play in the mud, go to an amusement park, splash in a mud puddle. You know, kind of connect with that. No, it doesn't necessarily solve anything, but it helps us connect to a part of ourselves that can be very healing. And in that healing aspect, we can sometimes get clarity and insight and wisdom, because sometimes children possess the best wisdom of all. So Virgo, that pretty much sums up your September 2017 reading. I hope you have enjoyed it, that it's brought you a little bit of insight and clarity, that it at least hasn't confused you too much. There was a variety of very different specific messages, so hopefully everyone, I almost always believe that everyone who needs to hear what they need to hear do, because I believe that's how this works. So thank you very much for watching. And again, if any of you are interested in any personal one-on-one reading with me and you haven't read with me before, just go to my YouTube channel's homepage, click on that About or Description button, and it should have my email address there as well, which is MAGGIE, the number 1, MCGUIRE@gmail.com. I would be most happy to work with you. I will see you all again in a couple of weeks for the September 2017 mid-month readings. And until then, Virgo, as always, I wish you joy, peace, blessings, and a happy life. And I hope to see you back here again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.